the first season, as you noted, it could have ended there. There's still more to explore, but that was a
Yep.
kind of concrete ending. Season two is the exact opposite. There's a million cliffhangers. What can you say about you changing your approach for ending the season? How much do you know about what you want to do with season three? And can you talk a little bit about that final
Well, look,
cliffhanger?
obviously, I mean, I couldn't have ended the season like that without having an idea of where it could continue on. I would be an idiot if I didn't. And that idea of the police, the cliffhanger that the show ends on, really only came up in like the last sort of 5 weeks of pre-production as well. There was actually a completely different ending. There was still all the birth stuff and all the stuff in the hospital, but there wasn't that element. The police weren't actually in the show at all, and it was like, oh, I think I need to bring this in. I think I need to rewrite episode 6 and episode 7. And as I did it, the more I was writing, I realized I was heading in that direction. That is where the story was telling me that it needed to end. So I just kind of bit the bullet and did it. And I do have a lot of ideas of how to. I always envision this series as a 3-season series. There was a beginning and a middle and an end. I mean, if it does end at the end, the way this season 2 ends, um, I realize how I realize how that may not be satisfying for an audience. And I certainly, if I was the audience I am the audience for the show, but if I didn't know that the show was going to end that way, and then it did end that way, I would be very, very frustrated. So I hope I get the opportunity to be able to continue and wrap up the story for the audience.
Is there anything you're able to say about what the original end was, or is that going to be worked into to potential season three?
No, so that's gone out entirely. Actually, weirdly, it was something involving Emma and kind of Emma finding her feet, which involved her school and a performance at a school. I'm gonna be honest, it was fucking terrible, and it was like, I was working on, and I was trying to subvert some things that are kind of trope driven with these kinds of stories, and even by trying to subvert the trope, I was like, fuck, I can't. It's actually not possible to subvert the trope. It's the trope, and I hate it. And then I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, well, why didn't we talk about the police? And I was like, and then that was, oh my god, this was just waiting here all along. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Well, there was
But
a
it certainly won't be coming back in season 3 if we get a season 3.
well, and one of the big things obviously is that the baby was born a wolf. Can you speak a little bit about why you made that decision and kind of having that beautiful scene where Josh is down there with them and they're having that moment?
Yeah, I think look, there was a number of reasons why. I mean, we've seen the baby inside Mary's stomach a couple of times to know that it is also going to be a human. So it is only going to be a wolf when there's a full moon. Um, for me, it was something very beautiful about the fact that when she did finally give birth as a wolf, that for Mary to finally recognize Gary, which she does, was at the most vulnerable time for all of them. So it gave much more weight to that moment for her as the wolf to not only recognize that he's not a threat, but he is her family. So, and it was more interesting for me to see Gary, to see someone with their baby for the first time when it's that little wolf as well too. So, yeah, it was just something. Also, it was just like, well, I've never seen that before, so I'd like to see what that looks like.